This is the Cash Considerations podcast with three guys from Pittsburgh, Philly, and Boston talking sports. God help us all. This is the show. Take it away, Dave.
Welcome to the Cash Considerations podcast. Today is Wednesday, September 29th. Boys, we made it to the end of September, the last week of Major League Baseball, which for most of you, you're probably not even going to watch the playoffs, but I am. College football, we're getting into conference play. That's going to be pretty interesting. And NFL, we're into week 4 already. Is that possible? We're into week 4. Unbelievable. Dare I mention that the NHL preseason has started and hockey season is very close. But those of you that don't care, only me and CH are the hockey guys on the show. But the Cash Consideration Show is at Cash Consid Show on Twitter. I'll get it right. Listen, I've been talking a lot. I'm sorry. My name is Dave Sheriff, and I'm the sports book consigliere at SportsBK Consig on Twitter. With me tonight, the boys, as always. CH, I'll go to you first because I know you had some rain up there earlier. Want to make sure the Wi-Fi is all good. How you feeling? How you looking? You look great. That new setup is awesome.
I'm good. How are you? How you doing? No rain, just cold, man. It's cold. 42 degrees this morning.
42 in September. What the hell?
Coming.
Oh my God, Boston. It's already coming. That's ridiculous. Also with me tonight, as always, Dan Alexander /Newbert @ Neuby Talks on Twitter. Newbert, what's up, man? You got this Eagles shirt on, the hair down, no hat. You feeling all right?
Oh yeah, no, I'm feeling good. I mean, as every time I put any Eagles gear on, I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I can't put on Philly stuff. I sure as hell can't put on Sixer stuff, and that's all my wardrobe. So I'm kind of screwed, Dave.
Oh boy. All right. Well, we're gonna have to. I mean, the Phillies are done. We'll get to that in the baseball segment. We're gonna do our usual thing. Let me welcome in our guest tonight, our esteemed guest. You can follow him on Twitter at, you know what? I'm going to let him tell us because his name's Rob. He's the Cue It Up King, the owner of BeatinTheBookie.com, really a supreme handicapper and kind of owns Twitter. Rob, how are you this evening, sir? You look great. This shirt looks great. I'm wearing the hat. People, he's got the best gear. He's got the best picks. And, man, you got a nice haircut, too. What's up, man? How are you?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing great. Just got a fresh haircut today. I'm going back to the Bahamas on Friday to bet. So just a great night in South Florida. It's not 43 degrees here. It's 79. So couldn't be doing any better, to be honest. So just
what is your Twitter handle exactly for the listeners? Because I didn't write it down. I don't want to mess it up.
It's Beatin the Bookie with no G.
No
so
G.
Beatin the Bookie. Yeah.
That's the key. There's no G, even though he is a original G. How about that? All right.
I feel like it.
Yeah. So you guys know the deal. We're going to interview Rob. Tell us, where he's been, where he's going. He's going to the Bahamas this weekend. We're going to mention that as well. Then we're going to do our usual thing, our quick through baseball. The bon dia, bon tarde, bon noche. Then we'll get to some college football laying or taking. We got some NFL in the gun. And then take a minute and we are out. So, all right, Rob, this is how it works. I ask the questions, at least the beginning questions, and the boys get to you and ask questions. We start off really hard right off the bat, and they get easier after this. All right?
All right.
Pretty simple. Where are you from, sir?
I am from South Florida, Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, but where were you born? Where were you born?
I was born in Pennsylvania, Lancaster, PA.
All right.
I lived there for all of 1 year, so I don't claim it.
Okay. All right.
I'm far from a Philly guy, as far as you could possibly be. So.
Lived in Lancaster for 20 years. Don't really claim Lancaster. So surprised me. The guy who was there for 1 year is not claiming it either.
I am not Amish, so.
All right. So you grew up in Florida. You lived in Florida your whole life. Are you in South Florida right now?
Yeah, South Florida, Fort Lauderdale,
okay.
30 minutes north of Miami.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're a little bit, that blood's thin, a little bit soft as far as the cold and all this stuff. No. Come on.
I can handle it. I mean, I can handle the cold pretty well. My wife's from New York, from Long Island.
Oh.
So we go up there every winter. for Christmas for a couple weeks. So I'm the guy that's wearing the shorts and the sandals when it's snowing outside. So
Okay. I have
thick blood.
You still got it. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So, where'd you go to school? Did you go to college?
Yeah, I went to Florida State University.
Oh, you do that cheer? Can you do that shit?
You know what? I grew up, I went there on scholarship for sports. I actually grew up a Hurricanes fan. Now I don't really, since I got into sports handicapping, like I don't really care. I don't really have any loyalty at all anymore.
That's the reality of the situation.
So the Seminoles, if the Seminoles lose, it doesn't really bother me at the end of the day. I mean, I'll fade them, I'll bet against them. So I have absolutely no loyalty. But I did do that cheer when I was there. I haven't been up there in a few years, so
okay.
I haven't done it lately, but it is one of the best cheers there is.
Oh, see, everything was going good until you just said that bullshit. And then here we go. All right. So did you play sports in high school? Were you an athlete?
Yeah, I was actually a state champion for swimming in high school.
What event?
200 IM, 500 freestyle.
Ooh.
I went to world championships. I swam for United States, represented the national team in Dubai. I think that was like in 2004 or 2005. It was a long time ago. I don't even remember. Like,
are you still swimming now?
No, I haven't swam in. The only time I swim now is I do triathlons, and I swim in triathlon, but I don't practice. I don't practice swimming at all or anything.
No, fucking humble brag. Listen, did you hear that? I just do triathlons and I don't practice the swimming part. Like shit. I'm having trouble tying my skates. Like if I go play hockey right now, and this guy comes on and I just do triathlons and I don't practice the swimming because I can swim.
I tell people it's like, I was going to practice at 5 a.m. in 3rd grade, all the way through college. So I tell, when people ask me, oh, do you still swim? I say, it's kind of like if you were an accountant for 20 years and you retired and someone goes, hey, are you still doing accounting? You're like, hell no.
Hell no.
No.
Yeah.
So
you could swear on this thing all you want, by the way. We had a record, Gump came on and how many times was it, Carl?
153 F-bombs.
He said 153 F-bombs. So if you feel like swearing, you can swear. We got no official.
154 though. Show is canceled.
Oh yeah. Well, you're right. Okay. So all right. So you're still in good shape. We met. I didn't realize you were as tall as you are. What do you go, about 6'2"?
Almost 6'2", almost 6'3".
Okay.
My dad's pretty tall, so he's actually like 6'4", so a
little
taller than me. But yeah, I'm in the gym. I feel like for me, like handicapping is just like, it's basically like practicing. I'm waking up early. Like I wake up at like 4:45 every day to go to the gym. And that just gets me ready.
And you put something on Twitter pretty much every damn morning at that time.
Yeah.
You let everybody know that you're awake at that time.
Yeah. You got to get out and get it. You just,
of course.
I get up, I'm at the gym at 5 a.m. and I'm watching Korean soccer. I'm betting Korean soccer. So it never stops. It never stops.
Yeah. See, this is a problem. It never stops, especially with you, because, all right, so you finished college. What did you major in at school?
Economics and finance. Yeah.
Okay. So you're a numbers guy. What did you do after college? You're done swimming. What did you do before you became this Beatin the bookie and handicapper?
So when I was in college, I was actually I was playing online poker, and this was like 2005 when party poker was really big. I made a ton of money like in 1 year, so I really could do whatever I wanted. So when I graduated, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I had these degrees in finance and economics, and I just didn't know what I wanted to do. And my dad ran a brokerage, so I worked with him in the brokerage for a little while. Then I took over his brokerage. But then I got like, it wasn't for me,
Yep.
Yep. I don't, it's just people, you make people money, they make 20% in 1 year. They don't say anything, they lose 1% in a year, and then you hear from them.
Oh,
so
you got into handicapping? What?
Yeah.
The hell is this? Is that any different?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't for me. Like, I just hated dealing with I won't say like what clientele he had, but I just didn't like dealing with them.
Of course.
I just like to you know, I just started doing handicapping in 2000. You know, I've been betting my entire life, you know,
Right.
so I was always really good at betting in college. I'll never forget, like, I was like 19 years old. The first, you know, I had won a lot of money on party poker, and I made my first really big bet ever was in college. And it was like Michigan versus Notre Dame, and it was Brady Quinn versus Chad Henne. And I was like, you know what? Notre Dame's gonna kill Michigan. Like, and I was like 19. I think I bet like $2,500 on it, and they just got destroyed. And then I just started betting like after that, doing really well. And then I always bet. And then, you know, I remember working for my dad. I was doing insurance and stuff for like 1 year. I was working for my dad, and I would make like, say I would make $2,000 a week. I would make $2,000 on the night playing poker. So I would be like, why am I doing
What am I
this?
doing here? What am I doing? Yep.
So then in 2014, you know, my friend was like, oh, why don't you put your plays like on Twitter, you know, make a Twitter account. I didn't have Twitter or anything. And I was like, you know what, that sounds good. So I just started putting my plays on Twitter. I came up with the name Beatin the Bookie. Like, I was sitting on the sofa at the Flamingo, actually, in Las Vegas.
Nice.
I'm like, what should we? I'm like, this was in 2000. Yeah, like 2004. I'm like,
14, 15. Yeah.
I'm like, what should I call myself? You know, like, I'm like, oh, Beatin the Bookie. So just came up with it right there. And then I just was giving out free plays and did that for like 6 months. And people kept asking me for more and more and more. And then it just required like all my time. So I stopped the brokerage stuff.
So wait a second. So you go work for your dad. You're in a brokerage that he has, and you tell him, all right, listen, Dad, I first of all, I like to gamble and I like to play poker. Second of all, I started this Twitter account when I was laying on a couch in the trip to Vegas, and now it's going to require my full time. So I ain't going to work in the brokerage no more. How did that conversation go? Because I know when I went to Curacao, like my biggest fear was telling my mother that I was the oldest of 5 and went to Penn State. And I'm like, listen, I'm going to go work in a bookie joint in the islands. Yeah. She's like, you know, I thought I was going to get killed. I thought she was going to just, you know, stab me or slip my. So was this a hard conversation that you had to have?
It wasn't really hard at all. I mean, my dad, he knew that I was a really good gambler. He always said I had a horseshoe up my ass just from growing up. I'll never forget, you know, it was, I came home for Christmas break from college and I won 2 tournaments in party poker over like a 3-day span. And then I entered a 7-card stud tournament by accident. I ended up making the final table. I got second place. So I think in 3 days, I made probably about $80,000. So I told my dad. So I tell my dad, right? I said, Dad, I just made $80,000. He goes, yeah, okay, sure. I go, yeah, they're sending me a check, right? He goes, oh, all right. I'm sure you did. You know, he didn't really believe me. So a couple of days later, right before Christmas, I get a check from, you know, Port of Gibraltar.
Right.
And from Party Poker for like $70,000. I show it to my dad. He goes, he's like, that looks fake. That's not a real check. He goes, take it down to the bank, right? Because I didn't even have my own bank account at this time. He goes, take it down and cash it against my account. So I go to the bank, you know, the teller calls him and he's like, is the check real? She's like, yeah, it's real. And he was like, just from there, he believed me pretty much. He's probably like my biggest fan. He comes to Vegas with me.
I love it.
We have a really good relationship. You know, I work out with him every day at 5 a.m.
I love it. Oh, that's fantastic.
He's in really good shape. So, I mean, he's like a pretty good role model. So, he always like gives me confidence to do what I want to do. And stuff. So, he's always been supportive. So I can't complain.
That's fantastic. That's a great story. And I was going to ask you, what's your best gambling story? You just gave it to me. That's one of the best ones that we've ever heard here on the show.
And you know what? He has absolutely no idea like how to gamble. Like he never.
That's the best part. That's the best part. My dad had no idea about it at all, but he was always like your dad, my biggest fan. Constantly, I push him. He's like, hey, man, you can really pick the games. Hey, the bookies think you're pretty smart, you know, blah, 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 blah. Kind of hide it from my mother a little bit and not getting too much in trouble. So I totally get that. Before I throw it to the boys, I'm going to ask you this question because a lot of people that follow you on Twitter, follow me on Twitter, and follow the show and the boys here, Neuby, Carl, like they're probably wondering this question.
Yeah.
Why would you sell picks if you're a successful gambler? Like, why in the world would you do that? Why don't you just bet?
Yeah.
Just curious.
Well, I mean, why would Morgan Stanley charge for managing people's, portfolios? It's kind of like the same concept. I mean, if I have, if people want to buy my, stuff, I mean, they can buy it. It's kind of like, I know that I do well. So if people want to join me, I mean, if I can help somebody become a better, and help them win, I mean, I'm all for it. I mean, I don't have to sell picks. I mean, everything that I have, everything I've made in my life, I've done it myself, like my parents growing up, like every family, we had problems and stuff. I grew up, I mean, pretty much everything that I have in my life, I made myself. So it's just like, if I'm a stockbroker, I can manage my own stocks, and make money, but people paying me to manage their stocks too. So it's kind of like the same thing. So, I mean, I don't have to sell picks, but I've just been doing it for so long and people love me. I mean, people absolutely love, I get love messages from people like all the time. I mean, honestly, and I love doing it. I love the pressure of, it's
does it make you better? Because, I think like when people, we have these conversations and I know a lot of guys like you that are doing it, I think it makes you better because now you're accountable to more than yourself. You actually have people betting their money on your stuff. Does it not?
Yeah. So, I mean, if I bet on the game myself and I was just betting it myself, if I lose, big deal, whatever. But if I'm sending, say it's like a PGA email, right? If I have like the US Open package and I've got 300 people on the email, I have to win like for those 300 people. I mean, I can't lose. So the pressure is, I love, like, it has like it's kind of like sports, right?
You're
I
competing.
love to win.
Yep.
So I love to do well for people. I mean, I absolutely love winning. Like, there's nothing like golf or something, hitting an outright winner, a first round leader. I love the pressure, and that's where I do the best. I mean, I love putting the pressure on my shoulders, and when you come through, there's no feeling like it. I mean, so actually, when my picks for my clients win, I feel better than when I just win money like betting, because it actually means something, So I absolutely love to do it. So I mean, I wouldn't change anything.
That's awesome. CH, what do you got for Rob here? You got anything for him?
Yeah, so we talked a little bit before we started recording, and you mentioned about going to Florida State. We talked a little bit of baseball before we started.
Yeah.
As growing up as a kid, do you have a favorite memory of a game or an event or anything you remember that just stands out for you?
Yeah, I mean, I went to every single Hurricane game probably growing up in my entire life. I mean, I was at the Orange Bowl when I was like 10 years old, when Washington beat them to snap their 58 game home winning streak. I was at the Orange Bowl for countless games against Penn State. So I've been at the Orange Bowl for pretty much everything. One of the best memories I have is it was a night game and the Hurricanes were getting ready to go to the national championship. And 2000, Washington had beat them. It was Ken Dorsey's first game as starting quarterback. Washington beat them by a touchdown in Washington. It was like a heartbreaking loss. The Hurricanes ran the table, and they beat FSU, and then somehow FSU got picked to play Oklahoma in the national championship game when the Hurricanes were the best team in the country. And this is when they had the BCS, so they got screwed out of it.
Yeah.
And the Hurricanes, they didn't lose a game after they beat FSU either. So the next year that Washington came to the Orange Bowl, they were ranked like 7th. I think they were undefeated. The Hurricanes were up 65-0 in like the third quarter. And it was just, I mean, it was unbelievable. The atmosphere was crazy. So I've been to a lot of games like that. I took a recruiting trip to LSU in 2001. They played Tennessee. It was Rohan Bailey was their quarterback. The game went to triple overtime, I think. It was the first time LSU beat them in like 10 years or something. The place went crazy, stormed the field. I mean, I have a ton of stories. I mean, I've been to a lot of events, Heat NBA championships. So I've been lucky enough to be at
you still like going to games though, don't you? You still go to games and go to events and things like that, right?
Yeah, I like to I get a lot of followers that like invite me to like, I'll have a lot of followers that are in fraternities and stuff, and they'll invite me to their fraternity. Like I went up to a fraternity in Gainesville for the Florida Alabama game. I went to that game. That was nice.
Nice.
So I like to travel, or I like to travel around like the country and see new stadiums and stuff. Go to different college campuses. It's always pretty fun, and I always have a follower pretty much everywhere. So I'll go to their tailgate or go to their
nice.
It's always, I mean, it's fun. I honestly feel like a celebrity when I do that, you know.
Speaking of tailgates, Neuby, I'm sure you got something queued up here for the Cue It Up King.
Oh, yeah. No, actually, since we knew that we were going to be having Beatin the Bookie on here, I already knew what my question was going to be during our little interview segment. And it's because it's the Twitter picture. I'm wondering what made you go with the Patrick Bateman. And for those who don't know, that's Christian Bale in American Psycho. Is it just the phone? Is it the vibe? Or is it a little deeper? Is it because you are murdering the books? Like what's the
I like the movie, and I like how he's got the old brick phone. When I first started, actually, like people remember this from when I first started, but I had a picture of Vanilla Ice with like an American jacket with the stars in his hair. Yep. And actually, when I changed that to Patrick Bateman, people were like, "Oh no, please go back to Vanilla Ice." Like, and I just switched to Patrick Bateman. And actually, I switched to my picture once, and people were like, "Oh, I didn't even recognize you. Can you please put your old picture back?" So I just put the Patrick Bateman in there. So
get off of there. We want Patrick Bateman. I love it, man. And again, awesome follow on Twitter, Beatin the Bookie. I love it. I learned from you, man. Funny stuff you're posting too. So keep it up. And I love the Bateman pick as well. American Psycho, crazy underrated movie. It takes a little bit to get into it because it's out there, man. But amazing acting job out of Christian Bale in that movie. So
I have a really nice business card, you know.
Oh yeah,
business cards are the nicest.
Best scene. So I knew I had to ask that one.
That's perfect.
Never seen that movie.
Yeah, I've never seen it either, actually, but I know the picture. I mean, it's so
of course.
We all know the picture. All right, so before we move on to the rest of the stuff, I got one more question for you.
Sure.
How nice is that book at Bahamar in the Bahamas? And when are you going to get us hooked up to come down there and do a goddamn remote? Because apparently you're there frequently, little hop, skip, and a jump from South Florida over to the Bahamas. You flash all these tickets all the time and all these nice pictures of you. I thought your legs would be bigger being a swimmer, but you got them nice skinny legs. You always show in the pictures as well.
Thanks.
But you're always down there. It looks great. Can you hook us up and get us down there?
Hey, anytime you guys want to come there, it's on me. Let me know. I love going there because it's literally a 20-minute flight. I mean, you spend more time taxiing on the runway than you do actually in the air. So it's a 20-minute flight. You get there, it's a 15-minute drive to Bahamar from the airport. There's nobody in the airport. Your bags come out right away. And they treat you like, Bahamians are so nice. I mean,
yeah.
When you go to Vegas, you see people on the street are like, fuck you. Like, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
In Bahamas, everybody's like, hey, how you doing? Like, do you need anything? They're so nice. Everybody, like, literally every time I go there, I'll see a guy in the bathroom and he's like, hey, do you want some cocaine? I'm like, no. Every single time.
Always ask that
time. It's crazy. They're like, oh, I got your hookup. And you know exactly what they mean. It's like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
It's used to happen to me in Curacao all the time. They see us and they go down there and they're like, hey, man, you need this, you need that. No, I'm good. I just wanted to get lunch. Like, I'm just
anytime. Yeah. Like anytime you want to go, just let me know. I mean, this is a place where literally the sports book is like a Vegas sports book. And you walk 1 minute out the door, you're on the beach. And now they just opened a water park. So like last Saturday, I sent my picks out at like 9 a.m. The water park opened at 10. I took my daughter to the water park. I went down like 4 of the slides till 10:30. I left, went back to the sports book. My wife was at the water park with her daughter. And I mean, where else can you ride like water park right there, then walk 1 minute and go to the sports book or go to the beach? I mean, it's the best. And
that's fantastic.
I would recommend it for anybody, and you should definitely check it out if you can. Yeah, if you ever want to go there, it's on me. Let me know.
All right, we'll figure this out, boys. We're gonna do a remote with Rob at from the Bahamar, maybe by the pool, or Like, I don't know. Maybe Neuby can still go down the slides. I'm not going to go down any slides. I might get hurt, but
Do
They
it.
got a lazy river for you.
all right, fair
There you
enough.
go.
All right, I'll get in that lazy river.
Yeah,
Just make
there you
sure.
go.
I like it. All right. That's Rob. He's beatinthebookie.com. You can find him on Twitter at beatinthebookie, no G. Again, the Cue It Up King, the owner of beatinthebookie.com, and a really good ass handicapper. So we're going to kind of use this a little bit. It's kind of just an early look. These aren't your plays. These aren't going to be official, but we're going to look at some college football games. We're going to play laying or taking. I feel the pressure already to try to compete with Rob here and hopefully just get as many games right as him. Because probably booked some of his bets in years past, being, we crossed paths at the Cosmo and at the, other places at CG. So that'll be fun. All right. Before we do, I just want to mention the Book It Sports app. What's better than winning a bet? Trent wouldn't know, actually, but doing it with your friends. On the Book It Sports app, you can talk about the game, track your action, and buy picks straight from the pros. Whether you like MLB, NBA, or NHL, come sweat out your bets with one of the fastest growing communities in sports betting. Start building your following and stand out amongst your friends by downloading Book It Sports today for free on the Apple and Google Play stores. Book It Sports is available for download in all 50 states. Shout out to Trent at Book It with Trent on all socials. If you aren't following him, you probably should, because anything he bets, you should be betting the opposite, and you will be able to afford a trip to the Bahamas down in the Bahamas if you do that as such. All right, real quick, let's bang out the baseball because I have to, because I'm on the MLB Network with Keith Irizarry and Matt Stryker on the Bettor's Eye. Was on this week. So I'm watching the games. I'm talking about the stuff. It's pretty much it. The Cardinals just won 17 games in a row. They lost tonight, which, I said on Twitter before today, I knew they were going to lose. Playing a team after they clinch is automatic play. They're playing the Dodgers most likely next week. Rob, I'll go to you first. Who wins a one-gamer? We got Scherzer most likely against Wainwright in LA in the shadows. What's the play?
Yeah, I got to go with Scherzer. I mean, he's been lights out since the trade. It's hard to bet against a guy with that intensity when he pitches. He's been lights out since the trade. And I know if you remember, the Rockies did this 10 years ago, the Rockies won 21 straight going to the playoffs, I think it was.
Yep.
And then they just, so I think it's impossible for St. Louis to keep this up. I mean, I like what they've done because I had the Cardinals over 86.5 games.
Very nice. I saw that today. You dropped that on Twitter. You had over the season wins and you got there.
I had a max play on them to make the playoffs. I thought that was dead. So I can't believe I won that. So I'm just happy I got this far.
Okay.
I don't think they can keep it up. And I hate the Dodgers, but I think that I think the Dodgers would probably win that game. And with the one game, it's just so tough. I mean, one game you just flip a
so hard. It's so hard. CH, one game playoff. I mean, I don't think the Dodgers prices at home. I mean, you look at it today, they're playing the Padres who are out and they're minus 330, 310, it's all over the place, but it's probably going to be lower than I would say it's normally, with the Dodgers. But is there a price that could interest you in the Cardinals in this game? Or are you looking the same way, just Dodgers win this game and move on?
Yeah, I don't think there's a number. I don't think there is. It's the Dodgers. Scherzer's just, especially when you get into the September, October games, right?
Okay.
He's just too dominant.
Yep. I think the line's going to probably come in the neighborhood of 170, 160 to 170. I wouldn't put it much higher. I don't think, maybe you have to put it higher because you're just going to get a lot of Dodger money. But the way Wainwright has found whatever fountain of youth, I think gives them a legitimate shot to beat them. So I don't think it's as easy as it looks. Yankees lose tonight to the Blue Jays. The Red Sox hold court against the Orioles. This wild card is insane. We're going to keep an eye on the Oakland-Seattle game, but if Seattle wins tonight, they're actually one of the second wild card. I can't fucking believe it. It's all over the place. Yeah. So I'll just throw it back to you, CH, before I go back to Rob. Who is the American League wild cards. We've been talking about it. We've been given odds. You turned it. You redeemed your Boston bet and all this other stuff. Who in the hell is going to be the wild card of the American League?
It's not going to be the Red Sox. You know why it's not going to be the Red Sox?
Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I got it backwards. The Red Sox will make it.
Okay.
Just to spite me, because that's how the season's been. They pissed me off at the beginning of the year. I said all season long that the team sucks. How many times have I said it on here? This team sucks.
A lot.
Just to spite me, they're gonna make the wild card. I think it's gonna be the Red Sox and Yankees. You've been saying it for a month.
I have.
You have, and that game's gonna be in New York now, and it's gonna make me sick.
Oh, it's gonna be brutal. I was hoping it was gonna be in Boston. It's gonna be in fucking New York, most likely. It's gonna be sailing in Cole, and it's gonna be amazing. But if it's not, it could be
Seattle and Toronto.
It could be Seattle and Toronto, which I don't think anybody really, which would be fantastic for throwing it all as a mix. But Rob, I mean, who is going to be your American League wild card? Just the two teams that are going to play next week.
Yeah, I mean, Yankees and Red Sox, I think. It's just,
yeah.
You know, and it'll be in New York. And I don't think it even matters where they play because, I mean, the Yankees have pretty much owned the Red Sox on home and the road right now. I don't think anybody wants to see Seattle versus Toronto. I mean, would that even count as a wild card if nobody watches it?
That's just a good point. That's
true.
That's a fair point. I think some people in Seattle might be concerned, and we have a lot of people listening in Toronto that might be like, "Hey, you guys, the Blue Jays have been a fun team to watch. They have been a fun team to watch." And in a one-gamer, I think they're live with Robbie Ray. Or they may throw Manoa or Ryu or somebody. I mean, like a one game they can win, and then they will be set up perfectly with that rotation to advance further. So, Neuby, I know baseball season's over for you. We've moved on. The Philly stuff is put away, although that Fat P is still really cool. And Norm and Nate and all the Philly fans that listen to the show, we really appreciate it. I just had to mention this before we move on. This is the Bon Noche part of the baseball discussion. The Bucket Boys. These are the guys that I met last year for the Super Bowl. They carried out the buckets of booze and all this stuff. One of them, Pirates Alex. They're all big listeners to the show. We discussed betting the Pirates season win total over, and it needed to be over 58.5. As of recording this podcast, it's fucking 58. We need one more.
They got it tonight, I think.
No, we lost. We lost to the Cubs 3-2 tonight. So
they got 59 wins.
They have 59 now?
Yeah.
Oh, so we're over. I thought it was 58. All right, so we're over 58.5. We got to get over 59.5. One more to get 60, which isn't a lot to brag about, but that's what you got when you're a Pirate fan. So to Alex and Drew and the rest of Nelly Buckets, all the boys, just wanted to shout you out. All the boys that fade you. I'm going to be on their podcast here eventually, but Pirates season wins over. Cash the ticket. Even at 60, we're going to push it, but over 58. Yes, over 59 is coming this weekend. All right, that's it for the baseball. For all your college and pro hat needs, check out the All Campus on the Ocean City, New Jersey boardwalk. It's at All Campus OC on Instagram and Twitter. You can also catch us on the A2D radio podcast every Saturday night live at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. I go on there sometimes as a guest. Newby's going to go on there, although I don't know how many more times we're going to be talking Eagles. I told him you were the Eagles guy, but he's going to go on there as well. So it's a fun show. You guys should listen to it. And he got every hat of every team in the country. If you like hats and you like college football, go on there and find them. All right, college football, laying or taken. It is time. The games are in chronological order as far as time on Saturday. So we're going to do a little jumping around on the sheet if you're following along. By the way, the Dodgers are up 4-1. Now, apparently they hit a home run, a grand slam in the first inning. These Dodgers will never go away. They just won't until Wainwright beats them next week. Anyhow, all right. College football. We're going to swing it around real quick. I start. Everybody gets to go first twice. So you can fade whoever you like. Rob knows how to play the game. He knows it very well. and I'm sure we'll get some nuggets. Start off game number 1. Wait, Neuby, do you have the records or anything caught up? Do we need to advertise the records right now, or we're passing on that?
I figured, Carl actually has an amazing spreadsheet, and maybe we should share one of these spreadsheets on Twitter for the folks from the Cash Consid show, just to see the work that goes into it on CH's part.
It's unbelievable.
I do not have the spreadsheet in front of me, but I know they're actually not too bad. And our unanimous plays, correct me if I'm wrong, Carl, we're only one game under 500 on the unanimous plays. So they're not as poisonous as we had once thought.
Yeah, we're 3-4 on the unanimous plays.
Okay.
It's not too bad.
1-0 in the NFL on the unanimous.
1-0 on the NFL. So
Yeah.
we have to make sure no more unanimous picks in the NFL. So
What did our guests go last week, CH? Do we know?
Oh, Julian and laying and taking went 2-5 last week. Tough
right.
week for Julian last week.
So the standard is pretty much you got to just do 500, Rob. No pressure.
Don't even worry, it's big free zone, so you don't even have to get that 52%. It's big free.
But Julian Edlow on Twitter, DraftKings representative, content analyst on all that shit. He had every goddamn teaser in the world in the NFL. Well, so he did hit everything. He specifically said he's not really a college football guy, which is fine. So it's all good. Nobody knows shit. We say that all the time. It's all good. Rob knows shit. We'll start them off with this one. Arkansas and Georgia. I got the line here. Carl does a great job putting the list together and getting a kind of a consensus line as well. It's 18.5 here on my sheet. Arkansas is 4-0. Georgia's 4-0 straight up. Arkansas is 4-0 against the spread. Georgia's 3-1 against the spread. I lead off. I'm taking the points. I believe in Arkansas. I think it's a tighter game than this number says. Rob, laying or taking? Arkansas, Georgia.
I'm taking the 18.5 also. I think it just comes down to KJ Jefferson's health. If he can't play very well and that backup comes in, we saw last week the backup quarterback can't throw. And if they have to run against Georgia, only run, they're going to be in trouble. But I think he's going to come in. I think he's going to have some success, and I'll take the 18.5.
Carl, laying or taking after you heard that?
No, I was already taking them anyway. I already wrote down my pick, so I couldn't change my mind in the middle after listening to somebody else like I did last week. Yeah, give me the points.
Neuby, are we starting this segment off with a consensus play?
Starting it off the way nobody wants to hear it. I mean, this line just says no one believes in the Razorbacks, and I think they're not bad. I mean, I think Georgia probably live in the first half, but at 18.5 for the game with a team who, I don't think they win outright, but I think, as you're saying, this number's a little inflated. Arkansas 4-0 for a reason too. I'm taking the points.
Oh, we're all fucking doomed. Oh my God. Us and the Razorbacks.
Kirby Smart coaches these big games like really tight.
Yes.
So I like that, that big point spread. So
game number 2 on the list, Cincinnati's at Notre Dame. This is a weird line, right? Both teams undefeated again. We're going to have a couple matchups here where both teams are undefeated straight up. Cincinnati's 3-0, Notre Dame's 4-0, but 2-1 against the spread for Cincinnati. Notre Dame's 2-2. I mean, they destroyed Wisconsin in that fourth quarter, made that game look a lot worse than it probably was.
Yeah.
Me and B. Howe broke down this game along with a bunch of other games on the 8 in the Box podcast. You can find that now on Apple, on Spotify, anywhere you find podcasts, as well as our YouTube channel at Cash Considerations. It's all available. The clips, the boys are doing a great job with that. So we broke down that game. We broke down this game. Rob, you're first. Laying or taking 2.5 Cincinnati road favorite at Touchdown Jesus. What do you think?
I hate to do this, but I'm going to take Touchdown Jesus. I think Notre Dame's got some momentum, and to be a home dog, I mean, they're not getting any respect. I like Jack Cohen. I mean, at quarterback. I like Cincinnati too, but I think everyone's just disrespecting Notre Dame with this line, and I'm just going to have to back the Irish in this. I think that Brian Kelly is a little better coach, so I'm taking the points with the Irish at home.
Carl, laying or taking?
Taking. Home dog. Let's go.
Oh, boy. Neuby.
Fucking A. Now, here's the thing I will say is that Rob's no bullshit because he ain't a steam chaser. He ain't seeing what the wise guys are doing because The wise guys, they jumped all over Cincinnati at this opener. And I didn't understand it then. I definitely don't understand it now. It ain't easy to go into South Bend and get a win when they're believing that they're going to get to go to the college playoffs again so that they can waste everybody's time and have them get blown out by whoever they play.
Yeah.
I'll take the points with Notre Dame. The other shoe isn't dropping quite yet on the Fighting Irish.
Yeah.
God damn it. We can't do it. I just have to not be consensus play first two.
Out of the
I'm
gate.
going to lay the points, but I don't like it. Like, this is one of them games where I've seen for years in the book. Like, everybody comes in and plays Cincinnati. Notre Dame wins by 2 touchdowns, and everybody's going, see, I shouldn't have bet on Cincinnati. They're fake. They're this, they're that. B. Howe made a pretty good case for Cincinnati. I didn't really buy it then, and I told him I liked Notre Dame to win the game. I'm going to go against all of you and take Cincinnati. I'm laying. I don't like it. I'm not proud of it, but I got to do it for the team, for the show.
I respect
Game
it.
number 3, Ole Miss, Alabama. We got 14.5. Alabama first half, money. Alabama, I guess, overs, pretty much money. The total in this game is the real story. It's up to 80 today. But we're not talking about the total, talking about the side. Laying or taking CH in the battle for, SEC supremacy.
Yep.
What are you doing, laying or taking?
I am taking again. This is 3 in a row. I'm taking the points again. Alabama's going to win, but not by 2 touchdowns. I think they're going to keep it close enough.
Okay. I mean, Charlie, you posted a picture of Charlie the dog taking a shit over the weekend. You got 3 dogs. Charlie's on my mind. So thought about Charlie taking that shit. Nobody knowing shit. It all worked together. Newbie, laying or taking Alabama?
I feel like Carl just keeps picking against Alabama because he had to drink all that fucking Coors Light, and he's getting back at
Personal.
Bama for it. I feel like for me, it's just I just auto play Bama since I'm not really a big college football guy.
Yeah.
Figure, Bama laying. I'll lay over 2 touchdowns. Why not?
I am betting Bama as well until further notice, until I see somebody actually go to Alabama and win. Obviously, Florida gave them everything they could handle in Florida, which I believe, Rob, were you at that game? You were at the
Yep.
Okay, so you saw it in person. So I'm going to take Bama here. I know you had Florida in that game. Are you laying or taking Alabama at home minus 14.5 against Ole Miss?
I'm laying the points because everybody I've seen is on Ole Miss, and Nick Saban against former assistants, he's 23-0, and only 2 wins have come. Only 2 of those wins have come by less than 14 points. So when he plays his assistants, he blows them out, and everybody's doubting Bama. And I think this is where we could see the Matt Corral, the Ole Miss hype train come to a crash. So I'm taking Bama.
Wow. Okay. That was pretty easy. 23-0 is pretty goddamn good, boys. I'm glad I'm on that side. That's okay. All right. This is a little Big 12 special. Texas Tech at West Virginia. 7-point spread. West Virginia was so close last week to beating Oklahoma in Oklahoma. They were getting 19 points, 17 points, whatever it was, closed, and they covered. They should have won the game. They just had a bad snap at the end. Now they're laying 7 after that crushing loss, or maybe a good loss, I don't know, to Texas Tech, who got destroyed. They had 70 hung on them last week against Texas. Newby, minus 7. Back in Morgantown, laying or taking?
Well, as you mentioned, the 8 in the Box podcast, I produced that glorious show. And there's a guy on there who is a former athletic director for West Virginia University. He said the Mountaineers are live in this game, laying the points. I'm not bucking Brad Howe. I'm rolling with WVU. I'll lay the 7.
I'm laying as well. I think they can take away a lot of positives from the loss at Oklahoma. Would have been a gigantic upset, but their defense is really going to limit what Texas Tech does, and they're going to run the ball down their throat over and over and over. They're not putting up 70 like Texas did, but they're covering 7. Rob, what say you?
Country roads take me home. I'm going West Virginia.
That's it. Pretty easy.
After that Texas Tech defense, they couldn't stop UMass. So I'm taking West Virginia.
You can't stop UMass. That's some bad shit right there. CH, is it that easy? You took 3 dogs. You go favorite here?
I am. I'm going favorite here. And this is why I wrote all my picks down early, because I would have been talked out of going with the 3 of you guys if I hadn't done that. So, yeah, all 4 of us.
All right. That's it. All right. Stay in the Big 12, boys. Baylor at Oklahoma State. A matchup of 2 undefeated teams. Again, they're both 4-0. Baylor's 3-1 against the spread. Oklahoma State 2-2. Baylor beats Iowa State, who I fell for that shit last week. I ain't falling for that shit no more with Iowa State ever again. Like ever again. Jorgen, JJ, if you're listening to the show, I am a rube. I had to say it. You called me that all the time when you worked in the book. That's my Iowa State buddy. I ain't falling for that shit no more. This week, I am taking the points with Baylor, plus 3.5. I think it's a field goal game, believe it or not. The total's low. They're playing defense now in the Big 12. Give me the points in what I think Baylor is very live to win the game. I'll take Baylor. Taking. Rob, laying or taking Oklahoma State, Baylor?
I'm taking, and I wouldn't be surprised if Baylor won outright. So
okay. Money line possibilities. I like it. CH, you wrote this shit down. Let me guess. You got the dog.
No, I don't. I got the Okies.
Really?
I'm laying the 3.5.
Okay. It's hip to be square. It's fine. It works sometimes. Not saying you're square. Rhombus, parallelogram. Did I dropped that in there? Sorry. I love that song. Huey Lewis in the News. It's hip to be square.
There you go.
Newbert, what do you got?
I mean, Baylor has screwed me in every game going back
all the time.
To last year's March Madness. So I basically just off of theory and pride pick against them. So I'll do it. I don't like that I'm opposite of you guys, but I'll roll with my man CH. I'll lay it with the
There we go.
Okay. There we go. Game number 6 of the 7. This is the game. It should have been number 1. No, I'm just teasing. We're just going in chronological order. It's fine. It's Saturday night at Penn State again, off of a big win against Villanova. I mean, seriously, how did Villanova even get on the goddamn schedule? But Penn State is laying 10.5 right now for us, our consensus line against Indiana. And our esteemed executive producer and co-host of the show, Dan Newbert, will be there personally at the game on Saturday night. But before we get to you, Rob, are you laying or taking 10.5 Penn State minus at home against what I think is a fraud Big Ten team in Indiana? Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. I'm not a big James Franklin fan. I think he sucks, but
fair.
Indiana, I think is a big, huge fraud, overrated to start the year.
Yes.
Penix is having a terrible year. So I'm taking Penn State at night. I think they win by 2 touchdowns at least.
2 touchdowns. CH, you look like you're writing. You're not writing, are you? Just reading?
I'm writing his pick down. I got to keep track of this shit, man.
Oh, yeah, you do. Okay, fair enough. Will you lay it or take it?
I really just want Neuby to have a good time and for there to be a really good game. So that's all I'm really rooting. That's bullshit. I'm Penn State. I'm laying the points.
So, Neuby, do you know the cheers? Are you aware of all the cheers? Like when they say "we are," you got to say Penn State.
Oh, I thought we said Indiana. I didn't know. Oh, okay. So it's
listen. You ain't gonna be allowed to go. I can make a call. You can let you in. When they say thank you at the end, you say you're welcome. There's all kind of cheers. When I say blue, you say white, blue, white. There's all kind of things.
If I would have been able to figure that out.
Listen, it's very high level shit. It's a state school, but it's like an Ivy League education. I went there. Like seriously, please. Laying or taking Penn State, Indiana.
Especially at 10.5. I am laying these points. You know what happened the last time Indiana went into a hostile environment on the road? They got rolled by the Iowa Hawkeyes, and it was 34-6. And also little revenge angle that I think we glossed over a little bit. Think about the loss last year that Penn State had. It derailed their season, and it was the touchdown that wasn't even really a touchdown.
Bullshit.
They actually
I thought it was.
It probably was, to be honest with you. And I'm actually not a Penn State guy, so I fucking loved it. But I will say they are going to be looking to put a stamp on him after what happened last year, and they have a chance to do it. I'm not a big James Franklin guy either, but like I said on past shows, he just looks a little different this year. I think this is a big Penn State win.
Okay. Penn State laying. The season continues. The magic ride continues. They're going to win by, like Rob said, 2 touchdowns.
They haven't beaten anybody yet.
Hey, whoa, Wisconsin, Auburn, that's not nobody. Jesus, I mean, they beat Villanova, too. Don't underestimate Villanova. They're a very good football school. Please.
Hey, Georgia State almost beat Auburn, too, so.
Oh, fuck, he's right. God damn it, he's right. Son of a bitch. All right, Pac-12 at night special. This is the late night special. Oh, my God. Arizona State is playing UCLA. People back east be sleeping. People out west sitting there sweating these games, tweeting about it. Beating the Bookies tweeting about it. I don't know who else is. I mean, I was up with Walsh and all these other guys. Everybody's watching the shit. UCLA -3.5. Both teams 3-1, but ASU's 1-3 against the spread. UCLA's 3-1. The loss came at home straight up to Fresno State. Rewatching that game, still can't believe that they lost, but they played like shit. They absolutely played like shit. We'll save Rob for last. Carl, your turn. You start. Laying or taking UCLA against Arizona State?
I'm going to take the points because I just picked my wife up who was in Tempe for the last couple of days. So she was just there. There's got to be some kind of good luck charm or something going on there. So I'll take the points.
Fair.
It's real in-depth analysis we get here in the Cash Considerations Show.
This is the show. This is the show. Hashtag TITS, whatever that spells. I don't want to get anybody offended. But this is the show. Neuby, what do you got? Laying or taking UCLA minus Trace?
Just as scientific. I can't pick an ASU game to save my life.
3.5.
They win. Yeah. So I'll lay it. I'll lay it with Chip Kelly and the Bruins. Yep.
Wait, you said you're bad at this UCLA games or you're good?
No, I'm horrible at Arizona State games.
Oh,
I'm saying
that's who they're playing, and you laid it.
I'm laying it.
Shit, I was gonna lay it too, but now I might change. But I'm not gonna be like I wrote my picks down too, like Carl did. So I got UCLA. I'm gonna stick with Neuby. We're riding PA guys together. The guy's born in PA, but he acknowledges that he don't be a PA guy. Rob, you're last. You laying or taking UCLA minus 3.5 against Arizona State?
I'm laying the points with the Bruins. I think Chip Kelly is just a little better coach than Herm Edwards right now, so I'm riding with the Bruins.
Okay, I like it. That's laying or taking the college football portion of the show. Before we move on to the In the Gun segment, the NFL, it's kind of a similar deal. Neuby takes it over. He's let him ramp up. I just want to mention the East Coast sports investors, where Jeff asked the question, do you ever wonder with 30-plus years of sports wagering experience and a number 1 ranked sports investors in the world, according to Google first page, looks like? It's www.eastcoastsportsinvestors.com. Your sports leaders delivered to you via text and email. What better time to meet the ECSI family? We're in the midst of postseason baseball coming up. We got college football. We got NFL football. And, oh, yeah, hockey's coming. And basketball, his real specialty is after that. But you get the daily grind of all of that, as well as he's hit some golf. He's also a golf guy like Rob. He hit 5 outright winners pre-flop, a lot of in-game stuff. If you still have questions, he says to ask the real Vegas Dave. Again, it's not that Vegas Dave. Fuck that guy. He said to ask me. That's the Vegas Dave, Mr. Sherapan. There's no I in team, just win and profit. See you in the end zone, East Coast sports investors. All right, Neuby, man, we're moving this.
I have a question.
Yeah,
you're the real Vegas Dave. So you don't carry a purse too, do you?
You know what? I used to a long time ago. I had it like you showed that guy with the brick phone. I had the brick phone. I had all that shit. Yeah. I might bring back the purse because I got a lot of shit that I carry around, and the kids give me shit all the time. Like, Daddy, what do you got all this stuff for? I'm like, you can't leave the house without cash. Then I got cards and I got a phone. I got all this stuff. So I'm thinking about it. But if I do, it's going to be a nice goddamn one, but it ain't going to be like him.
You don't think those kids are going to give you a hard time carrying a purse?
Them kids give me a hard time anyway, CH. So I might do it just to fucking, get them. I'm on TikTok now, and it kills them every day. They're like, what are you doing on this shit? Listen, the boys say I got to do it. There's pics, there's people on there. I got to do it. So TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, there's more shit coming. Follow along right here, YouTube, at SportsBK Consig, at Neuby Talks, at Carl Haskell, and at Beatin the Bookie, our guest tonight. Neuby, take us away, please, sir.
You want it. You got it, David. It's time for the most rootin' to football segment this side of the Mississippi. It's time for In the Gun, which, as I'm saying it, I realize is no fucking different than college football laying or taking. We just don't have a song for college football laying or taking. This is In the Gun. We'll go through 6 of the biggest games this week, same style. And then at the end, we do our little special segment, 1 total, 1 side, 1 prop, sweeping the nation. Dave, the guests, and we just can't quite get over that 500 mark. Now that we got Rob with us, now that we got Beatin the bookie, we're going to do it. We're all hanging out at 9 and 11. But how about CH, Dave, who after he started 0-for in week 1 has had back-to-back winning weeks at 4-2 to slide on up right behind us at 8 and 11. That is perseverance personified out of our man CH, which is why he's going to get first crack at the game I will be live in person for. It's a football weekend for Neuby here in PA, and the Chiefs are 7-point favorites when Andy Reid comes to town to take on the shitbag Eagles. CH, what are you thinking, my man?
I'm going to take the points with the shitbag Eagles.
Really?
I'm going to keep going against Kansas City until they cover. I just decided that last week that they haven't covered since, I don't remember, 2018 or something. I don't
Feels
remember.
like it, yeah.
Feels like it. But all their games are close. It's going to be within a touchdown. I don't know how, but I think it's still going to be within a touchdown.
Dave, is this within a touchdown? Are you fading the Chiefs as well?
What's your recent record attending these games, Newbert?
I'm bad, but my girlfriend's good. She's undefeated, and she's going to the game. So something's got to give. Something's got to give.
Man, this is tough. It's right at a perfect number. I think 7 is now the perfect number, and I don't think books are going to really move off of it. If they do, it's coming down because I think people are thinking like Carl, you just got to keep betting against the Chiefs. The Eagles did me in last Monday. They did me in against the Niners. I'm not fucking changing now. Give me the fucking Eagles again. +7. You got the shirt on. Let me hope the girlfriend's power overrides yours and at least they cover. I don't think they're going to win the game.
BTB, what are you thinking? Is this going to be more unanimous decisions right out of the gate, my man?
Yeah, I mean, I'm an Eagles hater, but there's no way I'm laying 7 on the road with the Chiefs right here. I can see the Chiefs being up by 10 with like 3 minutes left and Philly scoring garbage touchdown to cover.
Ooh,
So I'm going to take the Eagles, especially coming off getting embarrassed on Monday Night Football.
Yes.
I think it's a good spot for Philly. And, the Chiefs, they're like, what are they, 1-11 their last 12 ATS or so? So I can't back them right now. They're susceptible to the backdoor cover, so I'm going with Philly.
See, I thought I was going to be the lone detractor. I'm also taking the Eagles for the first time this year, just because I don't want to bet this game at all, honestly. Like Dave kind of said, this line is perfect. But for this little exercise that we do here where we have to make a pick, forced pick, this is the kind of game that the Eagles cover right after they shit the bed completely. And then they just pull something out of their ass to make everybody who thought they were a safe fade lose that money that they're doubling down with. I wouldn't touch this game even in a teaser, but I got to go with the Eagles. For what it's worth, we'll throw in Andy since he was run out of town by Howie the Weasel Roseman. He is 2-0 against the Birds, for what it's worth. Different coaching staff, different quarterbacks. Don't think there's really much in that, but worth mentioning regardless. And we will stick in PA, David. Steelers taking on the Packers, hitting the road. We're going to our esteemed guest, Rob, for his take on this game. Packers 6.5-point favorites in a line that I don't know if they put it up on the board and fucking put concrete around it. The thing hasn't moved at all. Rob, what are you looking at in this game, man?
I'm taking the Packers because, I watched the entire Pittsburgh game last week with a Steelers fan in the book at Bahamas. Roethlisberger cannot move. He can't throw. His arm is dead. He had 19 targets to Najee Harris. I mean, just absolutely ridiculous. He's throwing all those checkdowns. If they can't get that run game going, they're in trouble against Green Bay. And I think Green Bay could possibly win this game by like 2 touchdowns. I don't think the Steelers have a chance.
All right, CH, what do you think? I mean, I'm with Rob. I think the Steelers look bad right now, but bad enough for you to go with the guy you hate, the man bun Aaron Rodgers? Sports.
I hate both of these guys. That's really the truth. So it comes down to which one do I hate less this week? I'm going to take the points. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I am going to take the points. Green Bay's burned me a couple times this season, and I'm a little bit sour about that.
Dave, what are you thinking? We got one Packers, we got one Steelers. You're our Steelers guy, man.
Yeah, I'm going to fall for it again. This is exactly the type of game that the Steelers, I would normally in the past, I would take. This is the game they're going to cover. They're going to find a way. I said that same shit last week. You can go back and listen. The show was really good. I said, they're not going to lose at home to the Bengals. Not only did they lose at home, they got fucking killed. They're going to go to Green Bay and score enough to keep up with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers? There's no fucking way. I can't understand the line. I would have made this if I was in the book. I'd have said, look, make it 7.5. Get the Steeler money now, because on Sunday, this thing's going to have to blow through 7.5, 8.5 for the teaser line. I don't know. Maybe somebody's waiting to drop bags on the Steelers. I'm not buying it. I've taken the bag money guys all my life. You can have the Steelers. I'll take the Packers.
I want to take the Packers. I do have them in a teaser leg, but this is just weird to me that this thing hasn't budged for the same reasons that both of you guys just said. Like, how is there not so much money coming in on the Packers? And I saw it floated up to 7 at some spots, but still just not quick enough for my liking. So I'm going to be square with CH, and I'm going to take the points with the Steelers here on the road, even in a spot that I don't love with him. The line just doesn't make sense to me. So we'll keep on moving here, guys, as we have the Ravens. 4th game out of 6 here, or the 3rd game, excuse me. Carl, I do that every week. I can't fucking count.
It's only 6 games, Neuby.
I know, but once it gets off of one hand for counting, I'm fucked. All right, Ravens at the Broncos. Broncos 1-point favorites. Also pick them in some spots, but for our exercise, we don't want no pushes. We'll take the -1 here with the Broncos. Dave, I give you first crack at this. Ravens at Broncos. What are you thinking about it?
Denver's 3-0. They beat who? Jacksonville, the Jets, and
the Giants.
The Giants, the 2 New York teams who we don't know when they're going to get a win, and Jacksonville, who may never, ever get another win. Definitely not this week at Cincinnati on Thursday. I am going to, but isn't this the game Lamar wins, Baltimore finds a way to win? No. I'll fall for the early move, which I think is fake. I think the bad guys are coming on the Ravens. But I'll bite. I'll take the home team, Teddy Bridgewater, Teddy Two Gloves, whatever you want to call them, and they win the game against Baltimore. Denver, -1.5.
Rob, what do you think? At Denver as well for you?
I'm taking, I think the Ravens have just played down to, they've looked pretty much bad in all their games so far. I mean, they're 3 points away from being 0-3.
Yeah.
They haven't looked good. They should have lost to Detroit. For all those reasons, I just can't see, like you said, Dave, the Broncos have played nobody. So I think this is finally where the Ravens get their act together. I'm going to take the Ravens to win the game.
Yep.
So I'm going with the Ravens.
CH, break the tie. What are you thinking? Broncos, Ravens, just basically who wins the game?
Yeah, I can't get past who the Broncos have played. I just can't get past. They've played 3 JV teams, basically.
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty much.
The 4 of us and 7 other guys can probably give those 3 teams a game. So I'm going with Baltimore.
Now, I'm glad that, everyone who has taken the Ravens here laid out that exact same thing, because it's true. Who have they played? The 3-0 against opponents who are a collective 0-9. But, I look at it and think they can only play who's on their schedule. You know what I mean? And they took care of business against who was on their schedule. Now here's their chance at home to make a statement against the Ravens on their 2nd straight road game. And also, it's worth mentioning, Teddy Bridgewater sure turned into a journeyman. 23-9, best in the league against the spread over the past 5 years. Both of the gloves will be on tight. I'm on the Broncos, and maybe even with all the bad guys coming in, they could be the +1 by the time this game goes off. I don't know if it completely flips, maybe goes down to a pick 'em, but I'm on the Broncos as well here as we keep on rolling. And CH, we're going right back your way as the Cardinals are visiting the Rams. The Rams. I mean, the Cardinals getting all kinds of play in this game. Rams now -4.5 point favorites. CH, everybody's in love with this Rams team. Are you as smitten as everybody else?
This week I am. The Cardinals haven't really played anybody. They played the Vikings as the best team they played, and they're a 3-0 team. I don't know what the number is going to be. I think this was 6 this morning when we started putting it together. You said it's down to 4.5. It's even better. I'll take the Rams.
I like it, going with the line move. Rob, what are you thinking in this game, man?
The Rams have looked like one of the best teams in NFL. Their receivers look great. Stafford looks great. Their play calls are amazing. And the Cardinals, they look terrible losing at the half to Jacksonville last week. They really got lucky to, cover in that game. They're coming back across country, making the cross-country trip. I think that the Rams, win by a touchdown, so I'm taking the Rams.
Dave, what say you? We got 2 Rams guys hitting at 4.5 the line with all kinds of money coming in on the cards.
So I'm wearing the Beatin the Bookie lid, which, by the way, for the listeners or watchers on YouTube, it's right there. Rob's wearing the shirt. It's pretty sweet. But these 2 things came in the mail. Went and picked those up this week. They were a little bit late last week. All right. That one there, little sideline model. Rams hat. That one's not bad. This one also came.
Ooh.
Right. That one's for the listeners. That's pretty sharp right there. I like that blue.
Everybody needs 2 Rams hats.
You got to have 2 because you can't decide like what you're wearing. You got to coordinate. You always got to coordinate. And this blue is a little bit hard to match. That other color there, that works. Anyhow, I'm taking the Rams. I'm not buying that Cardinals stuff yet. Not yet. They go and win this game. This proves something to me. I mean, I think they can win the division. Right now, the Rams are the class of the NFC. Give me them laying a shorter number. It's going to be shorter. I think more Arizona money's coming. It's going down. I think 4 is the bottom. I don't think it gets below 4 because if it gets below 3.5, then people from LA are going to be driving here themselves to lay it.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I liked it a lot better when you were getting all the kind of points, but I'm going with the Cardinals at this short price just because is there a bigger play? And I don't even want to call it a public play because it is the sharp side. It's you could argue it's going to be the right side, but we'll see. There's no bigger play this week than the Rams at home, short price. Everybody's already anointing them as the NFC champion. Maybe the only bigger public play this week is going to be the Bucs as the road favorite. Weird line move to me. I'm going with the Cards plus the 4.5. So I'll be the lone detractor. No unanimous decisions there. 2 games left before the strong and very popular, catching on like crazy, total, side, and prop. I finally remembered the order of them. Raiders visiting the Chargers. Chargers are 3.5 point favorites. I haven't gone first, so I'll bat lead off on this one. The question in this is, are the Raiders actually good? Right? I don't know if we've been able to answer that question quite yet. And, the last time that they were a dog on Monday Night Football was a freak show of a win against the Ravens, who now we're saying are going to go into, Mile High and be able to take down the undefeated Broncos. I have no clue if the Raiders are a good team, but I do know that short sample size really doesn't mean much, but the Chargers lost their only game as a favorite this year. And sneaky good is John Gruden in the division since he rejoined the Raiders in 2018, 11-7 against the spread in the games. That's good for 4th best in the NFL over that same span. I don't know if the Raiders are good, but the silver and black is worth a roll for me. Getting over a field goal in prime time, I'll take the 3.5. Rob, what are you thinking on this one, brother?
I'm taking the Chargers. I think Carr is, a very average quarterback, makes a lot of mistakes, takes a lot of sacks. He really doesn't know how to throw the ball away. I mean, he prefers taking sacks because he likes to preserve his completion percentage. So I'm taking the Chargers. I think the Chargers defense is, played pretty decent this year. The Raiders were lucky to get the, win last week, almost blowing that game to the Dolphins. And I just think the Chargers are the better team. I think Herbert is, playing like one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So I'm taking the Chargers.
I love how I lay out all the stats, and right after, I'm taking the Chargers. Rob didn't care one iota hitting them with the Gruden stats. CH, what are you thinking? Chargers, Raiders, Monday Night Football.
To quote Bill Parcells, I think I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. I'm going with I hate to say it, I'm going with the Raiders, and I hate them. I hate them with a white hot passion, especially Gruden. But I'm going with them this week. I'll take the point.
Mad about the tuck rule game, aren't you?
No, why would I be mad about
the
that?
tuck rule game. I'm the one who's fucking mad about the tuck rule game. He fucking loves the tuck rule game.
That's true. Yeah.
Dave, what are you thinking? I'm sure that CH, once he runs through the show notes, he's going to be like, I'm on way too many of the same fucking games as Neuby. This is what are you thinking, Dave?
I put the hat back on for beating the bookie because I'm with Rob on this one. I'm taking the Chargers. I'm in Vegas. This whole city is over the top, over the moon with this team right now. Everybody's talking about it. You can't go anywhere near that goddamn strip or the stadium on the weekends because it is nuts. Last weekend was insane for the Miami game. They started off down 14. They go up and win. They almost give the game away at the end. I can't buy it. Although Waller's an unbelievable. He's the weapon of all weapons as far as tight ends. He's amazing. I don't think it's enough. I took more from the Chargers winning that game in Kansas City. I think they're legit. I think they covered a spread. Give me the Chargers -3.5.
What it's worth, too, Chargers are, I don't want to call them bad calls because they were the right calls, but they were 2 touchdowns taken off the board away from being undefeated. Would have had that game against Dallas. So, I'm almost talking myself out of my own pick. But what can you do? We're here where we're here. Final game before we get to our total sides and our props. Take a minute, get you the hell out of here. It's the one. It's the only. I've heard people talking all week that this is the most important and the most hyped regular season game of all time. It's the Buccaneers as 7-point favorites. Tom Brady returned. The prodigal son is back home. Yeah, actually, I just realized that. Yeah, cash that. And I think we're at the 112 mark. So this is maybe the longest over of all time. We have now mentioned Tom Brady on the show. And unlike everywhere where you go in the sports world and Twitter, we got an hour without mentioning Tom Brady.
How about that shit?
It's Tom Brady on the road in Foxborough. BTB Rob beating the bookie on Twitter. Where are you going, my man?
I think the Bucs just destroy the Patriots in this spot. The Patriots offense has just been terrible. Their defense has been average, but their offense has just been terrible. Their receivers have been bad. They can't get the running game going. I think Brady is mad that, how the Patriots treated him towards the end. I think he wants to show that it was more of him than Belichick. So I think Brady's going to have a big game. I think not Green Bay. I think Tampa puts up at least 35 points. So I see Tampa big in this game. I think Gronk has a big game also. So Tampa big.
Man, our guests love the Gronk vibes going back to Foxborough. For what it's worth, on our total, our side, and our prop, we still have one of the picks outstanding from Julian Edlow, who said, give me Gronk to score a touchdown in Foxborough. Fuck your prop for this week. Next week. Dave, what are you thinking? Bucks, Patriots, the game that everybody's been talking about since last year.
Rob just said it all. There's no way. I mean, no way. Jackie Gleason said it in Smoking the Bandit. You came from my loins. There's no way. But there is no way that Tom Brady's going to lose in this game. Absolutely not. And Rob just said it. They're going to score 35 points. I don't know, CH. Has the Patriots even scored 35 points combined all season? Like, this offense is really, he's got a lot of work to do. Mac will be fine. It's not there yet. The only way to beat the Patriots or to beat the Buccaneers, I see, it's like you say Tom Brady, you think of Patriots, but he's on the Buccaneers. I do the same goddamn thing. Anyhow, they're going to score. The only way to beat them is to outscore them, and you have to play defense. The Rams just showed everybody how to do it, but Ain't nobody got all the personnel that the Rams got.
Yeah.
Bucks in a blowout, -7. Now, I think this thing, I don't know what, maybe the books think that they can just go to 7.5 and get that money. If I was in my book, we would have already been at 8.5. I'm going to let you bet it down. 8.5, 8, 7.5, and get me to 7. I want all the money I can get early on New England, because by Sunday night, NBC had Adele singing about it. I mean, like they're singing symphonies about this shit, about his return. Buccaneers in a blowout.
Whew. All right, CH, I'll give you the last word before I put a bow on it and send it to our biggest. No, this is probably our biggest segment outside of Carl's Corner. Let's be real.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course.
CH, the guy's returning. The guy you love. I almost feel like there's just as many pure Tom Brady fans up in your neck of the woods as there are Patriots fans.
Yeah.
Coming home, man. Does he put a stomp on Belichick? Is this going to be unanimous for you three?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I had this whole mantra all last year about how I don't bet Patriots games. This is going to be the third week in a row that I bet the Patriots game.
Bet against them.
I'm betting big against them. I'm looking at how high a number I can go to. I'm already thinking at -10 for +130 I can get right now. And I don't even think it's going to be that close. This is going to be a blowout. This team sucks. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's the Red Sox. That's not the Patriots.
That's the Red Sox. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. This team's a year away from really being good. If they finish, I'd say 500, but they can't finish 500 this year. But they're a 500 team this year, and Tampa's going to blow them out. Not even close.
There you go.
I'll make you guys feel a lot better here because I'm going on the Patriots as the home dog. I'm going to be Mr. Square over here. It's because everybody wants Tom Brady to go in there and just shit all over Belichick.
Yes.
Just so it can like solidify that he's the greatest of all time. And he was the one, avocado ice cream, all that, cryogenic freezing chambers, all that shit. But let's be real. Like, regardless what happens in this game, Tom Brady is the best quarterback to ever play football. I mean, it's just with all the championships he's had, it's fallen down. You could argue athleticism, any of that. He's the greatest quarterback at the end of the day. But speaking of which, I saw a stat today from Colin Cowherd, actually, that said if Brady wins on Sunday, it will be the 100th head coach that he has beaten in his career. 100 coaches, and Belichick would be the 100th. I don't think Belichick wants to be on that list. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think that they're going to win outright, but I don't think they go down without a fight. So I'm glad you referenced the commercial, because I will be saying, "Hello from the other side." And I'm going on the other side. I was hoping you had unanimous to tee me up for that one, which moves us on, boys. Beautiful Cash Considerations listeners. It's time for one total, one side, and one prize. That's right, sweeping the nation after 1 week. Our esteemed guest is going to be batting leadoff after Julian Edlow, comes on here, goes a perfect 2-0, and he's also got his Gronk to score a touchdown prop pending. I think we might be able to cash that one already. We all took a step back after going 2-1 in the first week. CH and Dave go 1-2, and I was doing my best Fade King impersonation. I seemed like, I sounded like I was Book It with Trent, and it was Lose It with Neuby last week. An abysmal 0 for 3 last week. So let's get back in the win columns. Rob, bat us off. Total, side, prop. What are your plays for the folks?
The total that I like this week is the Seahawks Niners over 51.5.
Oh, I like
that Seahawks defense, they can't get off the field. They're bad. 49ers can move the ball. I think they're going to try to show some more offense this game. I think Jimmy G wants to, try to put a stranglehold on that starting job. So I think the Niners, go up and down the field. I think the Vikings, the Seahawks will score a lot of points too because they have a great offense, but their defense just won't stop anybody. So going over 51.5 there. My side is the Vikings +2 at home. I love that home dog, Kirk Cousins as a home dog. People haven't talked about how good of a season Kirk Cousins is having this year. I think he's like 8 touchdowns, no picks. He's really playing well. Dalvin Cook said he's probably going to play this weekend. Everybody is on the Browns right now. That's why the Browns are down to -2. So I think this is a good letdown spot for the Browns. And I think the Vikings win this game outright as the home dog, just like last week. And my prop would kind of be like the earlier guest, but it's like a hybrid prop. I'm taking Gronk over 68.5 receiving yards and over, 0.5 touchdowns at plus 450 at DraftKings.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
That one too.
I think he catches at least, 6-7 passes in this one. As long as his ribs, are fine. But he came back in the game last week and he hit his over 3.5 receptions prop for me last week after he was injured. So he came back last week. So that Gronk doesn't want to miss this game for anything. So I'm going with Gronk, to have 68.5 yards receiving and a touchdown plus 450.
Nice.
I love that one. And that's one that I wanted to play myself. And now that I know Beatin the bookies on it, I'm a sprinkle a little something on there. CH, what do you think in total? Side prop, my man.
Oh man, for the side, I'm taking the gimme. If you guys are going to give me this, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take the Bucks. I mean, come on, that's easy, right? That's good. I'd even take them, like I said, up to -20. I think at this point, the longer this week goes.
Just fuck it.
And especially when I took the Patriots, you were like, "Fucking pull off the rubber band."
Yeah. Snap it.
Exactly. For my total, I'm going to go the Panthers and Cowboys under 50.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that number is too high. It's going to be a lot of points. I don't think it's going to be that many. And then my prop, I'm going back to the Tampa game. I'm going with Tampa Bay over 3.5 touchdowns.
Ooh.
At plus 105. So
that's a prop.
It's a prop.
There's so many.
There's so many, man.
Easy shit.
They have about as many on DraftKings, dude. Scroll through those props. Oh my God. There's somewhere they like, because it used to just be the Super Bowl had all these crazy prop offerings. Like these books to keep up, they have to have these props up there. And what they end up doing is they just leave one number up and then just juice it to fucking death that you don't even want to play it. Like you'll see a prop that, opened at -115. And by the time you go to bet it, it's already -185. You're like,
right.
Let's move the number. But they've been getting killed on these props, but the prop offerings are unreal. I love that one. So now that's a prop offering. Maybe you scroll even a little bit deeper, Dave. What do you have for the folks on the total, the side, and one prop?
So I like to say side total prop. That's the way the order I give them. But you switch to total side prop, which is fine because
the song sings. Because it's one bourbon, one beer. What's
one bourbon, one scotch, one beer.
So I go by the syllables. Total bourbon. But you do whatever you're the host of the show. What am I fucking telling you?
You're the co-host of the show too. You just did the lead in. Anyhow, so I suck at the props. And I do it on purpose, but I have to pick the game that involves Brady and the return to New England. So my prop is, I have it pulled up right here, number of completed passes for Tom Brady to get over 67.5 passing yards. Okay. I put over 5.5 -140. Apparently this 67.5 passing yards is a big deal. It's most yards and he's going to break the record. Yeah. He timed it perfectly to go back to New England and do it. Will he do it? Yes or no is not even a question. It's only when. Well, I think it's going to be a couple dink and dunks, and then there's going to be a pass where he breaks it and it's going to take more than 5.5. So that's my prop. My side was going to be Minnesota, but I'm on my esteemed guest as well. Same side. I really like that play. So I'm going to go to my second choice, which last week my first choice was taken. It was the Rams, and I ended up finding my way to the fucking Steelers like a schmuck. I'm not going to do that again this week. All right. Detroit Lions are going to win the game at Chicago. They're a dog. It's +3. Give me the 3, but it's worth a money line sprinkle. Detroit is better than people think and better than their record indicates. They should have won that game. It took a 66-yard ridiculous field goal and a bounce off the crossbar and through instead of a bounce and bounce back. Detroit's live to win the game. Chicago's a mess. They won't even call plays for the kids. For the kid, Fields, he's got no shot. It's a mess. Give me Detroit. My total, I love unders. You guys know that. But it's painful. And like last week's under was a dead ass under. And I made a pledge in my mind that I was going to keep coming on here and giving an under every single week. But you know what? Changing it. I'm going over. Tennessee and the Jets. Okay. Now, I know the Jets stink. They haven't scored shit. They probably won't score very often. But this week, Tennessee's defense, very questionable. They might get 44 themselves, though. Derrick Henry bet all his props over, and I was going to go there, but I didn't want two things in one game. He's going to run a lot, and they're going to score a lot. I think they get enough to get close. The Jets get a touchdown and a field goal, maybe 10 points. If they get 10, it's just no-brainer. Tennessee's getting 35, over 44, Tennessee and the Jets. Those are my side, my total, and my prop.
Boom. Well, I'll put a wrap on it and get people take a minute and get them the hell out of here. My total, because I hate myself, I'm going back to the well on Eagles unders. Under 54.5.
Good luck with that.
Philadelphia. It's it even makes me sick saying it. But going back to last season, only 500 are the Chiefs to the over. So they're kind of have this perception of being a dead over team. That's just you're flipping a coin on their overs, on their unders. They're only exceeding those spreads, those totals by less than a point on average. So if there's anything that Sirianni is going to do in this game, it's going to be run the ball, try and keep the clock moving and keep Mahomes off the field after the embarrassment of what he did last week. Rock, paper, under 54.5 in the Eagles-Chiefs game. My side, I'm going with the Panthers getting the 5 points. I think that this is probably only going to go higher after Dallas's primetime blowout, America's team bullshit. McCaffrey is officially out. I don't think it matters that much, but a short week for Dallas off of a huge division rival win. While the Panthers have been sitting around since last Thursday, they had one of those quasi bye weeks. So they had a long week of rest, Dallas short week of rest, and they had a chance to rework the offense with Chuba Hubbard now as their lead back with McCaffrey out. I'm taking the Panthers getting the 5 points as my side, and my prop fucking kills me, man, because I prepped for this as well. I was writing up my picks probably around 7 Eastern. We're recording here around 10 Eastern, already into the hours of the morn we're trending towards. But as I said, they're going to run the ball more, are the Philadelphia Eagles, which is why I'm going over rushing attempts for Miles Sanders in this game. I don't like it as much because there was a big line move, and big line move in a prop market is really any kind of line move. This opened at 11.5, and that was at 7 o'clock. It's already up to 12.5. So it was enough to get me off of it. So while I can't give 2 picks, but my pick originally was going to be this Miles Sanders over rushing, but I'm going to bulk off of that just because I wanted to preview or talk a little bit about how these lines can move and how quick lines can move. The play that I'm going to go with is Baltimore Ravens to have the longest field goal. It is even money on DraftKings, and it's right after he just hit the 66-yarder. He's in mild high. I don't know how this is even money. So I'm going to Baltimore Ravens to record the longest field goal in the Denver Broncos game. I just wanted to throw in there that I hope Miles Sanders carries the ball.
The week after he just hit the longest field goal in the history of the league, you're going to bet Baltimore to have the longest field goal?
Yeah. I mean, it's even money in mile high.
You're not even listening to the show. I used to tell Mo he's not listening to the show when we're doing it. You're betting.
You don't go back to the well?
No, but go ahead. Take us out of here. Whatever you got to do.
So don't go back to the well. I'm going back to the well in mile high. Justin Tucker has a big ass foot, and I'll take him every game to have the longest field goal. And it's not of the week. It's just against the Broncos for what it's worth. Okay. So Dave, back to you, as I'm probably going 0 for 3 on my side total prop.
Oh, you
in the gun.
So you're just betting that Tucker has a longer field goal than somebody on the Broncos?
Yeah, at even money.
Oh, that's fine. I thought you were betting that he had the longest field goal the whole day.
Yeah,
no, just in the day, like the whole league.
7 yards this week. Yeah.
Okay, so it's just this week. Fair enough. That's a much better bet at even money. I was thinking, geez, they set you up and you bet that shit. You're not listening to the show. They're gonna stick a foot up your ass. He's got a horseshoe up his ass over here in the corner. His dad said so, and CH has actually got Charlie shitting out of his ass. But anyhow, Before we got to go, all right, it's Take a Minute. It's the segment that ties up every cash consideration show where you get 1 minute to just vent, talk, tell a story, whatever you want. Rob, sit back, relax, listen to the boys. Each week they go somewhere, usually good for somewhere that you weren't expecting. So without further ado, CH, the coordinating producer, the social media manager, the email guy, and obviously co-host of the show, at Carl Haskell. That's CarlHaskall on Twitter. You're almost at 300 followers, CH. I don't want to put
Oh,
any
I hit
pressure
300 today.
Oh,
thanks, Jeff. Jeff
There
was
we
number
go.
300. Thanks, man.
Excellent work. Thank you, sir. All right. So he's now 300 followers. Follow him on Twitter. Tell everybody about it. It's good follow on Twitter, and a lot of good things happening. Your Take a Minute segment, sir, starts in 3, 2, 1.
So I'm going to take our faithful listeners back a year to week 4 last season when Mr. Sharapan's Take a Minute ended with, God forbid one of you Jagovs go and leave us a review or two. Just somebody go do it, even if it's negative. Who gives a shit? Go on there and leave a review.
Who did it?
The next week, his Take a Minute with guest Tom Lippert, who, by the way, has been very beneficial to me when he said in week 5 last year, you got to identify some shit teams. Identify the shit teams is pretty fucking smart. Anyhow, I digress. Dave said in week 5, I got to shout out a couple of our listeners. We got a couple of reviews finally. We got a YouTube review. We got another review on iTunes. At Carl Haskell is up there in New Hampshire, and he's been listening to the show for a long time. Narrator, it was 4 weeks. Carl, thank you. No, Dave. Thank you. This has been fucking amazing for a year now since then. I can't tell you how much fun this has been for me, how much I appreciate what you've done with this show and bringing me into this and into each other's lives has been absolutely fucking amazing. So from the bottom of my heart, sir, thank you very much.
Oh,
And that's
man.
all I got.
He got me right here, boys. He
There you
got
go.
me a little bit right here. That's some good stuff. And, thank you as well for everything you do and continue to do. We got some quality time in person over the summer. And we talk about it all the time. It's the beginning of the journey. I can't wait to see where it goes. And I know you got that cigar stashed away somewhere. You can flash it for the listeners. When we get to that thing, somebody got the bag. All right. That's a little start of it, Rob. Dan Newbert, Dan Alexander, at Neuby Talks on Twitter. Have you reached 800 followers yet, sir? You're very close to 800.
After my shitstorm Tweety Eagles, I lost a bunch of followers.
These people, take that shit personal over there on that side of the state. You're an Eagle guy, and you started really just telling the truth. And people said, you know what? Fuck this guy. All right, unfollow. So people, go follow him on Twitter at Neuby Talks. He's the host of the Bet on Lacrosse show, which is on hiatus now, right?
Yeah, until NLL comes back December. Actually, the schedule just got released today. So
Okay.
actually coming back.
So he's the host of that show, as well as a producer at Wager Talk. He produces that show that I appear on with Prez and Teddy every Tuesday, but he's doing that every day. Also Bet on It with Kelly, Gianni, and Marco, all the stuff there, as well as our producer here, producer of 8 in the Box, and also doing some other stuff we're working on, continually doing it. Now, sir, you have 1 minute to take for the Cash Considerations podcast. It starts in 3, 2, 1.
So, Dave, after a long ass week, what am I doing this weekend? I'm probably going to relax, right? Well, no, what I'm going to do is have the triple crown of football. As you guys know, as the listeners of this show know, I mention it every now and then that I do play-by-play for local high school sports. This Friday, I'll actually be calling a game of my alma mater. It's the Berks Catholic Saints taking on the Daniel Boone Blazers. I always just love when I get to call games from my school because I get to see my old coaches, my ADs, and it brings back, all those awesome Friday Night Light memories. So I always love when I get to call a game. So what am I going to do after that game? Literally, once I'm done on the call, I'm hopping my ass in my car and driving up to State College to be part of the horde of humanity that makes Happy Valley the third largest city in Pennsylvania when the Nittany Lions are playing. Now, I'm not really a big college guy. I'm not really a big Penn State guy, but my grandpa was always a huge Penn State guy. So as I'm heading into that stadium on Saturday, that's who I'm going to be thinking about and hopefully cashing a ticket as well. Now, Sunday morning, around 5 a.m. After I shake off some of that hangover, I'm going to drag my ass out of bed, drive from State College to the city of brotherly love, where I'm going to get to see the first head coach of the Eagles that I could really remember, Andy Reid, coming home for the first time since he won a Super Bowl. There'll probably be some booze going. I'm going to be one of those guys who's trying to drown out the booze. That dude deserves a standing ovation for all the shit he put up with. Center of many conversations for my grandpa, my dad, and just like these bonding moments that you can't really put a price on. So I'm not saying I'm doing a triple crown of football to like brag and be like, oh, look at me. If you ask Rob, seeing 3 PA teams sounds like a dog shit weekend of football. So for me, what it really boils down to and why I bring this up is because like football, in my opinion, is the best sport known to mankind. It's like modern day gladiator battles. In my opinion, it's the best microcosm of life that's really possible in sports. And honestly, I was a pretty fucking bad kid growing up, and I don't even know where I would be without football. But as I'm going to be doing Friday night lights, Saturday night lights, Sunday NFL, that being said, go Saints, go Nittany Lions, and go Birds, baby. Love me some football, and I'm glad that it's back, man. That, David, is my take a minute.
Excellent. What a 3-game parlay.
One question.
Please fire.
One question. Neuby, is that Burke's Catholic and like Wyomissing?
Yeah, see, he knows his stuff. Yeah.
My cousin just graduated there like 4 years ago. My uncle lives like a mile away from there.
Let's go.
So I go up there. I go up there every winter.
Dude, when you're up here, I'll take you to get some of the best fucking beers, best food in your life.
Oh, God.
Right around the corner from me. When I graduated, it was still called Holy Name. They all merged together. But look at that, man. Small world. Lancaster knows where Wyomissing, PA is.
Did you hang out at the Bonton?
Oh, yeah. You got to Bonton. Al Bosca, great philanthropist in the area, for sure. So, man, that's amazing.
What are the fucking chances of that?
This guy. I mean, that's just knowledge, Dave, right there.
That's good stuff right there. All right. Well, that's a nice 3-game parlay. We'll be looking forward to some pictures along the way on Twitter. Definitely, at least send them to me and the Hoagie crew, because they need to see it. I wanted to bring them back to Penn State for a game so they can experience the whole kit and caboodle. It's a good year to do it. So anyhow, all right, that's Newby's Take a Minute. Rob, you got 1 minute rant, whatever you want to talk about. You'll be in the Bahamas this weekend. We definitely are going to see pictures of you, hopefully on Twitter at Beatin the Bookie, no G. You can find your picks, all that stuff. Sign up for the service. Guys been winning. You've been smoking hot. I don't want to put it on you, but you've been killing it in the NFL. Your Take a Minute segment, sir, starts in 3, 2, 1.
So I give out a lot of free plays too. I'm 22-6 the last 2 weeks of NFL. That's with props.
Legit 22-6. I've seen it. 22-6.
I just wanted to come on. I'm sick of hearing about these 2 college football coaches. Jimbo Fisher, overrated, $90 million. He's got $90 million for what? I mean, he was 27-1 with Jameis Winston. He's 85-33 with Dowd. He just got his doors blown off by Arkansas last weekend. They were overrated. They're not sniffing a title this year, but he got a raise. And then I'm just sick of hearing about him. My second coach, PJ Fleck. This guy smells like Al Golden. All right. He's 58-43 of all time. All right. You take away PJ Fleck's 11-2 2019 season at Minnesota. He's 17-19 at Minnesota. He's terrible. He's overrated. I don't understand why he's in consideration to be the USC coach. I'm just tired of it. They're selling snake oil, and like I said, he's Al Golden version 2.0. So he might be at Temple next. You never know.
Ooh, that's punishment right there. That's Rob from Beatin the Bookie. Snake oil, Al Golden reference, and Jimbo, like, come on, this is a Florida State guy calling your ass out. Like, that's some real shit right there, sir. That's pretty good. No, really, if you're interested in picks, and we got people from all different parts of the world listening to this, Rob's legit. You can follow him along on Twitter. I mean, it's soccer. You're up watching these goddamn soccer games, giving soccer picks. I mean, the football stuff is legit. And he's really, dialed in. And you heard it earlier. Thank you again for joining us and on the interview. I mean, it's more important for him to, win the money for you. So again, you guys are always looking for legit services, legit people. I mean, I know Rob personally, and I consider him a friend and an industry person who I respect. So if anyone needs that sort of endorsement, yes, it's there. The guy's legit. There's a lot of jagoffs in this industry, and there's a lot of people that are fakes and phonies. Rob is not one of them. So just keep that in mind. You got it, brother.
Thank you.
All right. My take a minute segment starts right now. So quick shout out to the kids, the Big Consig and Middle Consig. So Big Consig had our first softball games this past weekend as a freshman at CSN College of Southern Nevada. She played very well. She pitched, kind of gave her some shit about the pitching, but she got up, she hit a ball off the fence. I thought it looked like Tucker's home run ball or field goal. It hit the top and bounced back though into the field. So we got close, but she had a good weekend. Anyhow, they're playing each other. The 18U team is scrimmaging in town. They asked Kelsey to play. That's Middle Consig. So they have been talking shit for 2 days so far in the house. Friday is the matchup. Kelsey said if Kylie lets a screwball go and hits me with it, she's charging the mound. She's dropping the bat. She's going right out to the mound. I can't wait. I will be on there. Actually, you'll see it, probably a picture of it on Twitter. One kid playing against the other kid, 30 minutes from the house at a college. I'm pretty excited. The other thing I wanted to mention is the phone. Rob's thing has that big brick phone. The phone used to be exciting, okay? When it rang, you really didn't know who was on the other end. I mean, for kids that like Neuby, you probably always had caller ID. There was a time there was no caller ID. The phone rang, and it was like, gee, I wonder who it could be. It was a surprise. It was exciting. Hello? Well, with that, it could be anybody, right? I heard a great bit the other day on the Steve Harvey show. Heard it in the morning. A guy called a woman and said his wife was with her husband hanging out at the park. And she wanted to know, like, what is your wife doing with your husband? And how did you get my number? And this bit was great because she didn't know it was a bit. She started to get pissed off, and this guy kept it going and kept it going and kept it going. And eventually, at one point she said, I don't know. I'm getting pissed off at him for being at the park with your wife, but I'm getting pissed off at you for being such a pussy for not going and telling him like that you're watching him. Like, what are you doing? It was really funny. Anyhow, my point is this. Whoever is fucking calling me every goddamn day about a fucking extended warranty that I don't fucking have with a car that I don't no longer own, or a goddamn trip that I won that I got to make another call for, I got to hit 2, I got to hit 6, whatever the fuck I got to do. Stop fucking calling me. I'm sick and fucking tired of it. It shows up unknown ID or some 888 number. Stop fucking calling me, please. That's it. That's my take a minute. Every end of the show, I always say nobody knows shit. Well, I don't know who's fucking calling me, but you can stop that fucking bullshit. Enough of it. That's it. The boys. We got Dan Newbert, executive producer of the show, co-host at Newby Talks, close to 800 followers. Follow him. We got Carl Haskell, my guy, the social media manager, the coordinating producer, the email guy, cashconsidershow@gmail.com. Email us. Thank you again for listening to the show. And Carl Haskell at Carl Haskell on Twitter. And our guest tonight, Rob from Beatin the Bookie. Thank you, sir, for joining us. It's been a pleasure to get to know you. Continued success, continued good luck in the Bahamas this weekend. And get that shit ready because we're going to do a remote maybe when it gets cold everywhere.
Anytime.
We'll be down there. And that's it. Thank you again. My name is Dave Sherapan. I am the Sportsbook Consigliere, which is at Sports BK Consig, the show at Cash Consid Show on Twitter. Follow along both on TikTok, Instagram. and YouTube. Watch the show. You got to see Rob's shirt and my hat. This shit looks really nice. Talk to you guys next week.